Let's start with Indiana, Kansas, please.
We're going to start with Indiana, Kansas. And again, your biggest takeaway can be anything. One thing from that game, not one thing from each team.
I know mine. My biggest takeaway is what the hell, Indiana? Like, what are you doing? The running offense, like, it's 5-on-0. Like, there's no defense, just throwing the ball into the other team. 23 turnovers. I mean, it was a terrible performance. I don't even think Kansas played well. Jalen Wilson didn't play well. Right. They weren't fully together at all times on the double with Trace Jackson Davis. Like, they gave up some open shots. But again, 6 of 19 from 3. Trace Jackson Davis has 2 and 3 bodies around him. He didn't play all that well either. You know, I felt like at Rutgers, he didn't score it well, but he was making the right passes. And I just didn't feel like he played well at Kansas. The turnovers were bad. Their pick and roll defense, holy shit. I mean, like, basic stuff. You've got a situation where I think it was Trey Galloway is guarding Joseph Yesufu. He's the low man in pick and roll. You've got KJ Adams rolling to the rim. Yesufu, I don't even know what his percentage is, but I'm guessing you should be in. He wasn't even looking to shoot when he had the ball. He's just hugged up out on the perimeter. Like, scouting report stuff, basic pick and roll defense. The weak side help was a tragedy. I was so disappointed in Indiana. You know, there's no excuses now. Hood-Schifino's back, and I know. Look, he's
got hurt, but they were already down. They were down 20.
Hurt, but they were
down 20 already.
I feel like they were not playing well, and that's a big loss for them. They need him to be good.
Yep.
But I mean, nothing was good about Indiana, and it's a good win for Kansas. But I didn't really feel like Kansas played all that well.
All right, so I'll flip it, and I'll say my biggest takeaway is that Kansas can go back to back. They could defend. Yeah. They could defend. I never would have said that before yesterday. But I really believe that looking at this team, not necessarily that they beat Indiana the way they did, just watching this team right now and saying DeJuan Harris is
we owe him an apology. Remember the Kansas fans that were clowning us for not drafting him? They were right to clown us because he's
awesome. Because he guards, he makes people better. And he's not like a big-time offensive player, but he can give you 10. He's not a liability anymore offensively.
But in a year of point guards where it's kind of like, you know, he's one of the clear-cut better ones.
No doubt. You take him over 95% of them out there.
He should have been drafted in our draft. What were we thinking?
I know. We'll redraft. We'll redraft in a month.
Our drafts are going to be really terrible. My team sucks.
I don't even want to look at my team right now. But, all right, so Wani Harris, awesome at the point, right? Grady Dick, you're not going to find a better wing shooter. And by the way, he's not just a shooter. He's 6'8", and he's more athletic than you think. He can put in the floor some. He's not a train wreck defensively for a freshman who wants to score. Then you got Jalen Wilson, who's a go-to type guy this year. Like, you can put the ball in his hands.
And he was 4 of 18. I mean, he did not play well.
Nope, but he can be a guy that you say, hey,
in the game, we're going to him.
Right? Go get me a bucket. He can do that. There aren't a lot of guys out there that you can say that about this year, right? The best players are bigs. So, and then to me, you know, McCullough's awesome for what he is.
Knows his role, guards his ass off.
He put up 11
rebounds. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then, like, they're big men. They're not great, but you know what? By committee, they're pretty good. And KJ Adams,
he played awesome, honestly. KJ Adams was phenomenal.
Because you can switch everything with him.
Yep.
Like, that's the beauty. Right. Offensively, it's not the same. Obviously, he can't score like McCormick. You can't throw the ball to him like you could at McCormick down the stretch last year.
Right.
He doesn't.
Let me read this off to you, because I don't want Kansas fans to feel like maybe I was very harsh in Indiana, rightfully so, and I think I should give Kansas a little more credit because they were a big part of that.
Yep.
Points off turnovers, 28-13 to Kansas. Points in the paint, 50-24 for Kansas. Fast break, the most 2-12. Ass kicking.
The points in the paint is the most embarrassing thing for Indiana.
Totally. That's
because you have Trace and Race. You're built,
and like you said, no David McCormick.
Right.
Adams is a dump down guy. That's their guards getting in the paint.
Amazing.
That's dump offs. It's just horrible pick and roll defense. Indiana, I don't know what the hell that was, but that was awful.